Hey everyone, it's Mike from Mike Olson Art. I hope you guys are all having a great day today. As usual, thank you guys so very much for taking the time out of your day to check in and hear me talk a little bit more about some of the card art projects that I've been working on. I got a really exciting card that I want to share with you guys today. The client for this one approached me, and it was going to be a pretty straightforward project right off the bat, but sometimes life happens and things change, and at the very last minute a lot of the details surrounding the player and the team and the circumstances of this card changed at the very last minute. And instead of looking at it as kind of a stumbling block for this project, the client and I both kind of looked at this as an opportunity to make something completely new and completely unique, and really took us both by surprise, kind of where we landed with this card. So if you guys have been following me for a while now, you'll know that I really love to weave a story into any card that I make. I think it's really important to not just slap things together for no reason. I really try to have some sort of narrative or some sort of something behind the card that kind of flows together, and this card really gave us the opportunity to do that. So the client for this one actually reached out and wanted to do a card of Philadelphia Phillies utility player Kody Clemens. And I love Kody. He's been a really cool player for the Phillies. I don't think he got to play enough on the field by any means, but I've always loved Kody, so I thought that this project was going to be really fun right off the bat. But literally like days before we were going to start working on this, Kody was traded, and he was traded to the Twins. And we kind of had to reimagine how we were going to approach this card. Was it going to be a Phillies card? Would it be a Twins card? And in the end, we were able to make a card that kind of incorporated both teams and the circumstances behind Kody having to leave the Phillies. So why don't we just take a look at what we came up with. All right, so this is our 1955 Kody Clemens traded card, I guess you'd say. This card celebrates Kody, but also speaks to him unfortunately getting traded from the Phillies to the Twins, where he's actually doing an awesome job. So love Kody, love this card, and there's so much that went into this one. Why don't we just dive right in and take a closer look. All right, everyone, here is our 1955 Kody Clemens card. Like I said at the beginning, this card was going to be kind of just a straightforward Kody Clemens card at the beginning of this project, but things, took a real quick left turn, and Kody was traded literally days before we were going to start working on this. So I kind of had to switch gears and figure out a way to kind of work on this card. The client for this one approached me and wanted to do the Kody card, but they gave me pretty much full artistic freedom to kind of just do it in whichever way I wanted to, which is always great. I never mind that. But Kody being traded definitely threw a little bit of a monkey wrench into this one. And like I said, it gave us the opportunity to come up with this card that really never would have existed had that trade not happened. So at the beginning, I wasn't sure whether I was going to make this a Phillies card, a Twins card, and in the end, it's actually a little of both. It incorporated a little bit of his time in the Phillies and a little bit of his time on the Twins to kind of bridge that little gap there, and have this card tell a little bit of a story about what went on. I love 1955 Topps, one of my favorite card years, and it instantly jumped into my head as the perfect vehicle to kind of do this traded idea of having Kody. His portrait here is him with the Phillies, but then his small image over here that's always on these 1955 Topps, we did a illustration of him in his Minnesota Twins uniform, which is really cool. At the beginning, I thought I was going to have to use a picture of him on the Phillies and kind of draw in the Twins uniform, but the Twins put Kody in right away, and I got a ton of great photo references of him in his actual Twins uniform. And this photo here is actually Kody running the bases after his very first home run as a member of the Minnesota Twins. So it was really cool to be able to use not only a picture of Kody with his new uniform, but to capture, kind of a really cool moment from his, beginning with the team and that big home run that was his first one as a member of the Twins. So just a really fun way to tie everything together here. These 1955 tops always have the player autograph in there, so I had to find Kody's autograph so that we could put that on there. I think that he's got an awesome signature, and it really fits in here great. So the color scheme, if you guys are big fans of 1955 tops, the Phillies use this color scheme for their cards with the the kind of primary red, yellow, and blue, which went great with Kody's Phillies uniform, and honestly worked great with this Twins uniform. It's him running the bases there. So, just in general, a really interesting way to approach this one. And the 1955 tops was just absolutely perfect in being able to kind of tell this story. Down here I have him as infield and outfield. Kody plays, tons of different positions, so he's kind of both. And instead of settling on one name here, we did Phillies / Twins. Up in this corner, we actually did the Phillies logo from these 1955 tops. At the time, the Minnesota Twins were not a actual team. They were the Senators, so they did not have a Minnesota Twins logo up here, so we went with the Phillies for this one, and went with this royal blue kind of background. And I just really love the primary colors, and I love how everything pops here. So just a really, really fun card front. We'll flip it over, and we've got a really cool card back. I'm struggling to get the signature box on the back of these horizontal cards, so a lot of the times I just leave it off. I haven't found like a really nice way of doing it yet, but it gives me the opportunity to do stuff like this on the back of these horizontals. And I did a little cartoon that kind of talks about Kody, and it's a little kind of nod to his obviously very famous father, who was a Cy Young winning pitcher for the Red Sox and the Yankees. You guys all know Roger Clemens, so I was able to kind of take some inspiration from Topps cartoons on their card backs, and then I kind of, in their writing, wrote my own little blurb here about how Kody was around baseball from a very young age, due in part to his dad being such an incredible pitcher. I'm still kind of working on these cartoons, and I hope to someday kind of be able to draw these on my own. But for now, I'm kind of finding cartoons that existed and either chopping pieces off or adding pieces to kind of fit a narrative that I come up with. So I knew I kind of wanted to talk about Roger, and so I found a cartoon, and I'll probably put it down here so you can see where this came from. But, I kind of took away some stuff in this cartoon, added the Red Sox, and then, added this blurb about Kody, and it really came out nice. Like I said, at some point I'm going to try and be doing these cartoons, myself, and have them be original, but until I can kind of figure that out, I'm kind of leaning on these old, amazing cartoonists that did these cartoons on Topps cards back in the day. So that's our card back. Like the front, I've got Kody's numbers for Philly and his number on the Twins, infield and outfield, and then I just put a little hint of what happened here with this traded from Phillies to the Twins. So he's, relatively new player, so he doesn't have a ton of stats, but I did 2022 to 2024, and that worked out just great. So just a really fun card back, and like I said, I was able to, pull in some of that story from the front, and even add a little bit of a story about, where Kody came from. So that is our card back, and just a really, really fun card front. All right. So that is the story behind our 1955 Topps Kody Clemens card. Just a really, really fun card to work on. Sadly, the circumstances behind it, it's never, fun when your favorite player is traded. But I'm glad that we could take that experience and kind of turn it into a really unique card, that's going to celebrate their, love of Kody from both the Phillies perspective, onto his new team, where I hope that he just does incredibly well. He's just a great player, really good presence, and wish him all the best of luck. But really fun card and really unique one to get to work on. So thank you so much to the client that reached out for this one. And I think that card is, just a great example of what I always say to you guys, no card cannot be made. We can take any circumstances and we can weave that into, a card that tells a story about your favorite player, your favorite team, your favorite memories from, baseball field. It's all possible. So if you guys have an idea or if you have a card you want to create, you can always reach me here on Instagram, or you can head over to my website, mikeolsonart.com, and you can reach me that way. But either way, I'd love to hear your ideas, and, thank you guys again for following. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.